There's a moment at about 3 p.m. where I used to feel like I'd been unplugged. Not tired, unplugged. Like someone had crept up behind me, found my off switch and just flicked it. I'd be sitting at my desk mid-email, the words would just stop arriving. My eyes would go blurry, my brain would say, I'm done, in the same tone my son uses when I tell him to do his homework. And I'd think, I need sugar. I need caffeine. I need to lie face down on this desk for 20 minutes and hope nobody notices. And I'd reach for the biscuit tin or the vending machine or whatever was closest. And I'd feel better for about 12 minutes. And then I'd feel worse. If that's you 3 p.m. most days, this episode is going to change how you eat tomorrow morning. And I'm not being dramatic here. I mean it. I'm Laura. This is the Riviera Menopause podcast. And today we're talking about the afternoon crash. The energy slump, the 3 p.m. wall, whatever you call it, you know exactly what I mean. Here's what I want you to know by the end of this episode. That crash isn't laziness. It's not aging either. And it's not a character flaw. It's a metabolic signal. Your body's literally sending you a message about what's going on with your blood sugar. And once you understand that message, you can change it quickly. Like within days quickly. So I said it's a message about blood sugar, but what is actually happening to your blood sugar? Okay, quick bit of science, and I promise I'll keep this human and short. Estrogen, the hormone that's currently in the process of doing a slow, unannounced exit from your body, has a job you probably didn't know about. It helps regulate insulin. Insulin is the hormone that controls your blood sugar, and when the estrogen declines, insulin becomes less effective. Your cells become more resistant to it, which means your blood sugar becomes more volatile. So the same lunch you've been eating since you were 35, that sandwich, the pasta salad, the totally reasonable meal deal from Pret, it's now hitting your bloodstream differently. It's spiking your blood sugar higher than it used to. And what goes up must come down. Fast. And that crash, that's your 3 p.m. wall. It's not that you're eating badly, it's that your body is processing food differently now. And nobody thought to send you the memo. Now, here's where it gets really interesting and also slightly annoying. When your blood sugar crashes, your body panics. It thinks, we need energy, fast. So it sends a craving signal. And what does it crave? Not a lovely piece of salmon and some broccoli. Oh no, it craves fast sugar. Biscuits, bread, chocolate, crisps, anything that will get glucose into your bloodstream immediately. So you eat the biscuit. Your blood sugar spikes again, then crashes again, worse this time, and now you're trapped on what I call the blood sugar roller coaster. There's no getting off it gracefully at this point. Your whole afternoon is gone. And here's the bit that really gets me. You blame yourself. You think it's willpower. You think you're weak. You think, why can't I just resist the biscuit tin like a normal adult? Well, that would be because your blood sugar is on the floor, Laura. That's why. You're not weak. You're in a glucose deficit. Your brain is demanding fuel. It's physiology, not personality. And there is a concept that changes everything. And I want to introduce you to the concept that changed how I eat and how the women on the Riviera eat seemingly intuitively. They just seem to know this stuff. And that's naked carbohydrates. A naked carbohydrate is a carb that arrives in your stomach alone. Without protein, without fat, without fiber, just naked, unaccompanied. Walking into the party on its own with nothing to slow it down. Toast with jam? Naked carbohydrate. A banana on its own? Naked. A bowl of cereal with skim milk? Basically naked. That rice cake you're eating because someone told you it was healthy? Naked as the day it was born. Or made in a factory. When a carbohydrate arrives in your stomach without protein, fat or fiber to slow down its absorption, it converts to glucose fast. Your blood sugar spikes, insulin rushes in, blood sugar crashes, you're hungry again in 90 minutes, and the roller coaster is off. But when that same carbohydrate arrives with protein, with eggs, with yogurt, with chicken, with cheese, the absorption slows right down. The spike is gentler, the crash is smaller, you stay full for longer. Your energy stays stable and your brain keeps working. That's the difference. That's the thing. Never let a carb go to a party alone. And before anyone panics, I'm not saying don't eat carbs. I'm not anti-carb. Carbohydrates are not the enemy. I need to be really clear about that because the internet has done a real number on carbs and I'm not here to add to that. Bread is fine. Pasta is fine. Rice is fine. Potatoes are fine. I mean, trying to eat the whole grain varieties, but they're fine. But they do need a chaperone. Protein, fat or fibre. Something to slow the absorption down so your blood sugar doesn't go on a theme park ride every time you eat. Think of it like this. A carb on its own is a sports car with no brakes. A carb with protein is the same sports car with excellent brakes. Same car, same road, very different outcome. Now, if there's one thing I could get every menopausal woman in Britain to do tomorrow, or every menopausal woman anywhere actually, come to that, it would be this. Eat 25 grams of protein at breakfast. Because here's what protein at breakfast does. It stabilises your blood sugar from the very first meal of the day. It prevents that mid-morning dip, which prevents the overcompensation at lunch, which prevents the 3 p.m. crash, which prevents the biscuit tin, which prevents the guilt. One meal and your whole day changes. Now, 25 grams, what does that actually look like? Because I know you're thinking of some gym bro eating 6 egg whites out of a Tupperware box. That's not what I'm talking about. 2 eggs and a slice of toast with butter? About 18 grams. Add a handful of cheese or a small pot of Greek yoghurt, you're there. Full-fat Greek yoghurt with some nuts and berries? About 22 grams. Add a spoon of nut butter? Done. Leftover chicken from last night on toast? Easily 25 grams. And honestly, leftover dinner for breakfast is one of the most underrated moves in nutrition, in my opinion. Even a protein smoothie, a proper one, not one that's mostly banana and ice, can do it. Protein powder, full-fat milk or a milk alternative, a tablespoon of nut butter, some frozen berries, 5 minutes, done. You're not training for the Olympics here. You're trying to get through Tuesday without wanting to cry in the stationery cupboard at 3 p.m. It's not rocket science. We're not changing the world here. We're just changing your metabolism one meal at a time. One more thing, and this is the one that surprises most people. In menopause, going longer than about 4 hours between meals is a bad idea. And I know that contradicts the fasting trend, the skip breakfast crowd, the your body doesn't need food until noon influences. And look, intermittent fasting might work beautifully for some people. Incidentally, intermittent fasting often helps people lose weight because they're fundamentally skipping an entire meal of the day, which, let's not even go there. But for a lot of women in perimenopause and menopause, it's actively making things worse, and here's why. When you go too long without eating, your blood sugar drops. When your blood sugar drops, your body releases cortisol to compensate. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and if you've been listening since episode 1, you already know that cortisol is already running higher than it should be in menopause. So skipping breakfast or going 6 hours between meals isn't disciplined. It's adding fuel to an already burning fire. Think of it like driving a car. You wouldn't drive with the fuel light on and be surprised when the car starts juddering and making weird noises. That's exactly what we're doing when we skip meals or leave huge gaps. The engine starts to struggle. The 3 p.m. crash is the judder. So, eat within an hour of waking. Eat every 3 to 4 hours and make sure that every time you eat there's protein present, not just at breakfast, every meal. Protein, fibre and ideally some healthy fat every time. That's the framework. And here's what I want you to hear underneath all of this. This is not about restriction. This is not about eating less. Most menopausal women I see are actually under-eating, not overeating. They're skipping meals, cutting portions, replacing real food with rice cakes and shame. And it's making everything worse. You do not need to eat less. You need to eat differently. More protein, more regularly, more strategically. It's not a diet. Nobody's asking you to count calories or weigh portions or eat anything you don't like. It's a rhythm. Protein at every meal, no naked carbs, and don't leave your body running on empty. That's it. That's the whole thing. Your one thing this week. Are you ready? Tomorrow morning, eat 25 grams of protein before you leave the house. I don't care what it is. Eggs, yogurt, last night's chicken on toast, a protein smoothie, whatever works for your life, your kitchen, your morning. And then, and this is the important bit, notice what happens at 3 p.m. Just notice. Is the crash as bad? Do you reach for the biscuit tin? Do you actually get through the afternoon without that unplugged feeling? Try it for 3 days, just 3. And if you feel a difference, which you will, You'll understand more about your menopausal body from those 3 days than from 3 months of Googling. And here's what I love about this particular piece of advice. It's free. It's simple. It's not a supplement. It's not a program. It's not a special product. It's just eat some protein in the morning. And it works. For most women, it's the single fastest way to feel like your body is starting to make sense again. And this is the thing. What we just talked about is one piece of a much bigger picture. Metabolic stability is one foundation. There are others, 4 others in fact. And when they all work together, that's when the real shift happens. But we'll get there, one episode at a time. Next week, we're talking about brain fog, the forgetting words thing, the walking into a room and not knowing why thing, the terrifying, is this dementia thought that nobody wants to say out loud. We're going to say it out loud, and I'm going to explain exactly what's happening and what to do about it. If this episode helped, send it to someone. You know the woman, she's the one eating a rice cake at her desk right now, wondering why she can't concentrate. Send her this. I'm Laura. This is the Riviera Menopause and your 3 p.m. crash. Its days are numbered. So, for now, I'm signing off with love from Monaco. I'll see you next week.